Good afternoon with Newsline Weather. I'm Charles Tweed. Well, Brett mentioned earlier in the show just 1 month left till Christmas, and to be honest, it feels more like the end of October as opposed to November out there. Currently in the city, it's a mix of sun and cloud and zero. The winds are coming out of the northwest at 15 kilometers an hour, causing it to feel more like -3. This evening, the cloud cover should dissipate, causing the temperature to dip down into the negative double-digit range, -10 with a 10 kilometer an hour wind out of the west. And overnight, a low of -12, so set the alarm clock a little earlier because there's a good chance you'll see frost on the windshield tomorrow morning. Taking a look at our satellite image, it's relatively clear across the entire province, but if I move out of the way, you'll see a large mass of cloud cover coming from the Pacific, pushing its way east across the prairies. And moving to radar now, again clear over Manitoba, but that cloud cover I was talking about, that will bring some flurries with it that will result in the snow we'll be seeing on Friday and throughout the weekend. And taking a look at our 3-day forecast, expect the temperatures to dip down tomorrow with a low of -12 and a high of +3. There's a 20% chance of precipitation, but it will most likely take another day for those clouds to move in from the west. Friday, as so often happens as cloud cover moves in, the temperatures will warm up a bit with a high of 3 and a low of just -2, and expect snow in the range of 5 to 10 centimeters. If you're planning on going anywhere this weekend, be sure to allow for a little extra driving time. And into the weekend, Saturday's temperature should hover around the 0 mark with some scattered flurries that might bring a little snow in the range of 1 to 3 centimeters. The wind will be out of the northwest at 15 kilometers an hour. Taking a quick look around the region, most of the province is hovering just above the 0 mark. Winnipeg checks in at 2, Portage 2, Dauphin is 0, Neepawa, Carberry, and Killarney are all 1, Minnedosa 2, and Verdun rounds us out at 3 degrees. Checking the almanac for this time of year shows seasonal temperatures of a high of -5 and a low of -14. Record temperatures set on this date were a high of 11.1 degrees all the way back in '62 and a record low of 30.8 in 1985. Once again in Brandon, a mix of sun and cloud and 0 with the wind out of the northwest at 15 kilometers an hour. That's all for weather, but stick around. Brandon's up next with Newsline Sports.
Good afternoon with Newsline Sports. I'm Brandon Crow. Montreal forward Maxime Lapierre says it shows the depth of the Canadian system. The Canadians have been missing 8 regulars to either injury or suspension, but they've still claimed a 7 out of a possible 8 points over their last 4 games. The latest, a 5-3 comeback over Columbus. Marc-Andre Bergeron scored his second of the night in a 3-goal third period to spark the Habs to their second win of the season when trailing after 2. AHL call-ups Ryan White of Brandon and Tom Pyatt turned in yet another solid performance role for the Canadians. And Sergei Kostitsyn got an assist in his season debut after he was recalled from the AHL's Hamilton Bulldogs. Ottawa Senators starting goalie Pascal Leclerc suffered a broken cheekbone when he was hit by an errant puck during a game Monday against Washington. He'll be sidelined for about a month. Philadelphia forward Danny Briere starts serving a 2-game suspension tonight when the Flyers visit John Tavares and the New York Islanders. Briere was given a 2-game suspension for his late hit on Colorado defenseman Scott Hannon. The incident occurred right after Hannon had scored on Monday. Briere will miss Friday's game against his former team, the Buffalo Sabres. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are trying to make themselves feel at home in Calgary, where they'll face Montreal in Sunday's Grey Cup game. Given the number of people from Saskatchewan who live in Calgary and the carloads expected to arrive from the province this week, the players say McMahon Stadium will feel a lot like Regina's Mosaic Stadium. Quarterback Darian Durant says even during the season when they played in Calgary, the stadium was filled with green. The Riders had a win and a tie in their 2 games this season at McMahon and have already moved into the Stampeders dressing room. The Riders feel they'll need that home field advantage as they're already playing the underdog card, noting the Alouettes' stellar record this season. Montreal beat Saskatchewan in 2 meetings this season by a total score of 77-35. Terry McNamee will look to remain atop the standings tonight in the Westman Super League of Curling. The Brandon native will take on Blair Goethals tonight in Game 1 of 6 on the schedule. McNamee has a 6-1 record, which puts him half game ahead of defending champion Kelly Robertson, who has a 5-1 record. Robertson is in action tonight against Carberry's Rob Van Comer. You can catch all the action right here on WCG-TV, beginning at 8:30. And Brett, that's all the time we have for sports.
And that's going to put a wrap on today's edition of the show. Join us again tomorrow for Brandon's only television newscast, Westman Newsline.